Okay, great morning. I have some more questions on tarot. Hello, Lady G. Could you teach us how to shuffle cards, how to cleanse the deck, what to pray before starting, how to keep the deck, what readings to avoid, what are various spreads, should we do reversals, just an overview to doing tarot for a beginner like me. How do I combine pendulum with tarot? What are the various uses of pendulum? Thanks a lot. Okay, well, people want, an XYZ. This is not a college course. How you shuffle the cards. Everybody's individual. There is no one way to shuffle, to read, to do any of this. Now, some people shuffle, they're doing this type thing, A lot of people like to shuffle this way. I have a tendency to shuffle. I used to be a dealer in Vegas, and I have a tendency just to shuffle like regular shuffling. It doesn't matter. It's whatever works for you, There we go. We got ones that are popping out. There we go. Okay. So, again, how you shuffle is what works for you. What is easiest for you. So, how to cleanse the deck. Why does it need to be cleansed? Okay. That's, again, another thing. It's... Here, I don't cleanse decks. What's wrong with the deck? Everything is source. Everything comes from source, from the divine is. That's the consciousness here. Okay? So there's no need to cleanse the deck. What is it? It's going to pick up something negative? What? It's images. It's symbology. So no, I don't cleanse decks. What to pray before starting? I don't pray before starting. Okay? Why? Because I have that connection with the divine is. I'm not feeling lack. I'm not, people do this, I need to cleanse because what? It's fear mode. Fear of what? Shadow. If there's no fear of a shadow, you know that has no reality other than what you are giving it, then why are you going to put something out there to attract shadow? If one understands they are light, divine is a light beyond lights, and that's what is at the center of being, why are you wanting to pull in shadow? All of that comes out. I need to put a light around myself. I need to do this. I need to do that. All of that comes from what? Fear, lack. Okay? And what did Christ say? Fear not. There's nothing to fear. Don't go into fear. Don't give way. What did he say when he was out? And sorry, using biblical things. There's some people that are not biblical. But, get behind me, Satan. I'm not listening to you. This is, bogus. Okay? It's all bogus. Go away. Okay? So, it's about, don't open to that darkness. Don't open to lack. Don't open to fear. All of that comes from, oh my God, something's going to come and attack my cards. Nothing's going to come and attack your cards. How to keep the deck. Again, personal preference. Some people say, and again, all of this is based on one's fear and lack. And oh my God, I need to keep it a certain way. I need to wrap it in silk. I need to keep it in a special box. I need to, no. Those are limitations you put on yourself and your experience. The minute you are projecting that I need to surround myself with light, or you are a light being. You are a light being. Unless you cover yourself with shadow and lack. Okay? The minute you say, I need to surround myself with this, when did Christ, when did any of those say, oh, make sure you surround yourself, or Krishna, or Shakti, or it doesn't matter. When did any of them say, make sure you surround yourself with the light because, you want to keep the darkness away? Okay? It's never happened. That's a new thing that's based on fear. It's kind of like Buddhism thing as well that came in vegetarian later. Buddha ate meat. Okay, let me tell you, Buddha ate meat. He just said, don't kill something for me. I'm coming, don't go out and kill something for me. That was his view. Okay? But they ate what was given to them. So again, something comes around and then they turn it into some radical type of thing, which is, just comes out of lack and fear and some other mental restriction that wants to be put into place. Now, if you want to run your life around fear and, superstition or whatever, and you want to put up that lack in your life and that fear-based thing, be my guest. You have every right to do that. But you are light. When you leave the physicality of form, what are you? You're a light body. So why are you bringing that lack in here? Okay? So, here, these are means of communication for you to go with your consciousness, your experience, your life. It's like, we have here, the devil is representative a lot of time, ego drama, okay? What? The greed, this one just cracks me up. The greed of the ego, what you have yourself chained by. Now, they're not chained up there hard. Look at the chains are laying there. But this is what you chain yourself with, okay? Same thing. If you go into wanting to do tarot and all of a sudden, I need to cleanse the deck. So you're going from fear and lack. Why do you want to go from fear and lack? And set up that parameter, okay? It's like you get people that are doing spells, and I'm going to work with the dark side, and I need to put a thing around to protect myself. Well, if you're not working with dark side, there's nothing you need to protect from. There is that inherent protection if one doesn't go into lack and fear, okay? So let's see, what are various spreads? Again, there's so many spreads. I change my reading style all the time. And it just comes out of the motion. Okay, so it's individual. Just work with it and see what works for you. I'll do usually sometimes the subject matter, what's above it, what's below it, the subject, and then going into it, and then the challenge of it. But if you see me doing readings, you'll see that it changes, it evolves. One time I may do the Kipper, and I'll do 5 cards of the Kipper along with the Lenormand, okay? Or I'll do Kipper along with the Tarot. Okay? I don't have one specific thing. I don't lock myself into a box. Okay? So it's how liberated are you? How spacious can you be? How open can you be to the flow of the universe? Okay. Let's see. Should we do reversals? Again, that's a personal preference. I don't do reversals. I just look at the spread and see, what is it leaning towards. If there's a question about it, I may do pendulum. Now the pendulum, you have to work with it, and it's like I have this one. Okay, we'll stop it. Which way for me is yes? It will go. Which way for me is no? You communicate with it. Okay. Which way is positive spiritual? Which way is towards the negative? You'll see it goes the other direction. And then you can get it skewed toward the positive or skewed to the negative. Okay? But it may go the opposite direction for you. You have to work with it and see, again, how you relate to it. It works on your energy. That's like if you see my things here, I'll show you. For here, because I'm Kundalini completed, you'll see first the energy goes one way, and then it will stop, and then it will start turning the other way. And for here, there you go, it's now turning the other way. It's constantly in balance like that. That's the energy here. If I'm doing connecting with people on an energetic level, okay, and I'm connecting sometimes with higher level divine beings, etc., you might see my body will go this way, it'll stop, it'll go the other way, it'll stop, and then it just goes, the energy grounds and goes straight up. Okay, that's the way it works here. So again, it's individual by where you are and what you open to. Okay, so how do I combine pendulum with tarot? What are the various uses of pendulum? Okay, well, you can ask if something's beneficial for you or if it's not. Okay, now you see Cash, what's his last name? Peter's Cash? Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. He'll do the muscle test, is this tight or is it loose? Is it loose? He'll do the muscle testing. He'll do the same thing with the pendulum. Like say, is this coffee, is this okay for me the way it is? It's saying yes. Okay? It's saying it's quite fine for me. Okay? So you can do that as well. You can ask all sorts of questions with it. But if I have a reading, well, I'd have to do a reading, but we'll see. Can you show me this? We got the negative and the despair and the illusion and stuff. And you can go this way and see, well, is this positive or is it negative? In this one, it's saying, okay, this card is the right way. It's positive. If you have a doubt about it, you can go through it like this. It's saying, yes, this is the right way. Now show me how it would be if it was a negative. See how it's turning? So that's showing me now that this is a negative. Show me a negative spiritual, okay? It's showing that. Show me a positive experience of spiritual with it. It will go the other direction. If it's skewed, show me a skewed toward the positive or skewed toward the negative. So if you have a question about a specific read that you're doing, now I don't always test them that way because, I just go through them pretty quickly, but you can ask it that way. okay, the meaning is kind of skewed to the positive. The meaning is skewed to the negative. Okay? If it's going this way, then it's a total reversal. Okay? So you can do it that way. But again, there are no one way. There's not one way. This is a tool you use to work with consciousness. Okay? And so there's not one deck of cards that you use. There is not one way to read the cards. There's not one way to shuffle the cards. There's no right and wrong. Okay? If you want to be in, and say, oh, I need to cleanse it, I need to spread salt, I need to do it over a candle, I need to put it in light, I need to put it outside in the thing, well, you want to put those parameters on yourself, then go ahead. I need to surround it with crystals. I need to sit crystals on it. I need to, you're limiting yourself. Okay? So that's the view that I have here, that they come from the divine consciousness. Okay? When it's coming from the divine consciousness, everything is consciousness. Why are you limiting it and making it to be something dark? The minute you limit that and go into fear mode, then what are you saying? Oh, this is something I need to explore. Yeah, let that dark, I've got to fight it. I've got to, Oh my goodness. So, again, once one enters realization, you see that those are the limitations one puts on oneself. Okay? That this fear mode that one has, and when you put a light around yourself, then what are you saying? I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. So you're drawing to you the very thing you're trying to repel. It's the same thing if you say, oh, I want to pray for peace. I want peace. Then you're going to get every difficult thing to develop peace that there is. So, this is what people don't understand. I want strength. Well, if you want strength, then what do you have to do? You have to build the muscles, okay? So you're going to get every challenge of that's there. Okay? So watch what you're asking for. That's why when people say, oh, pray for me, I always just say, the prayer is, may the best take place for this situation. May the best take place. Because you don't always know what's the best. Maybe a challenge is best for the situation at hand. Okay? So again, it's all about your journey and your own self-exploration. What is it? Man, know thyself. This is your journey to explore and know yourself and know the universe. And again, interact with that divine is, that consciousness of divine. Okay? And that's what's at the center of being. So why are you going to pull in dark and shadow and lack and fear when it doesn't need to be there? What happens when one leaves the form? Okay? All of that stuff dissipates immediately. Why? Because one is confining themselves here into a mental box of restriction and building one's own prisons. By fear and lack. So I hope this has answered it. I'm sure it's not what most people want to hear. They want to hear, oh, you need to do this light, and this is a specific prayer that you do, and oh, open me to the, may the highest come from the, If you know that you are within the heart center, okay, and that is where you're resting in the heart center, in the divine is, then know that what is going to come from the divine is. Okay? Rather than looking for fear-mongering. Okay? That's the thing I see with people. They get into superstition and fear-based. There's no other way to say it other than fear-based, superstition, things that one sets up in their own mind. Okay? If you want to convince yourself that a black cat walking across your path, you're going to have horrible luck, then be my guest. You can set that up for yourself. But why? But why to do that? Okay? But if you set up that mentality, then that's going to be your experience at hand. So come from love, come from light, come from understanding that you are a temple, and the center of the temple is the divine is. It's what gives you life and breath and experience. And the mind is quantum. Okay? That consciousness is the projection of quantum. What you set up there is what's going to be the experience. So are you coming from abundance or are you coming from lack? Are you coming from understanding that the divine is the projection of the universe? Okay? And that it's full and complete as it is? Or are you setting up for lack and fear? It's up to you. Up to you. So thank you for your question, and enjoy your travel.